Bismillahi, alhamdulillahi, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi, rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri, wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to our Unlock Quran series, Course 2, to learn and understand the Quran in a very, very easy way. And today we will start every lesson. We are going to start with a small dua, Rabbi Zidni Ilma, which means Allah, increase me in knowledge. We will do this dua at the beginning of every lesson. So Allah make it easy for us. And today we are going to do the course 2, page 1, pointer A. Now I'll explain to you what is page 1 and pointer A in the course of the lesson. So first of all, we have completed, Alhamdulillah, we have finished course 1, we've already done, where we have understood 50% of the words of the Quran in a very, very easy way, simple, and we have understood. And at the end of that course, I also opened the Quran and I showed it to you, like how you have learned 50%. In fact, more than 50% we knew. Now, Arabic is a very rich and comprehensive language, and our target right now is to understand not the Arabic, the spoken, it's to understand the Arabic of the language of the Quran. The Arabic language, which is in the Quran, that's what we need to understand right now. Now, we have learned that there are 78,000 words in the Quran, and we have done more than 50% words are done. And in the course 1, I used to show you the battery, how we used to keep charging our batteries. And like, for example, like if you want to learn calculus, when you go to university, you need calculus. How would you learn, how will you even understand calculus if you don't know your basic mathematics, correct? So you need your addition, subtraction, division, you need all that. Only then you will even understand the basics of calculus. So in the same way for us, Quran, we want to understand Quran. So just by, memorizing vocabulary, it's not possible for you to learn how to read the whole Quran. So just by, learning vocabulary, you learn the word meaning, it's not possible for you to understand the whole Quran. Important thing is how to connect the sentences. You'll know the meaning of the vocabulary, but you should also, when you read a sentence, read the ayah of the Quran, you should know the meaning of it. And that can be possible only if you know how to connect the words and understand a meaning of a sentence. So now we'll begin with some du'as. For this du'a is very nice. I like this one. Allimu wayassiru wala tuassiru. That means teach and make things easy and not difficult. Allimu, teach. I am teaching you. And wayassiru, and make it easy. You make things easy. And that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to use grammar as a burden in learning Quran. Grammar is going to be attached to the Quran in such a simplified way that you won't even realize that you've done it without going into the technical words of the difficult words of the Quran. So, and then you will be able to do this. And the key to your success to do all this is it all relies on you. It's all within you. Are you consistent and are you determined? Two things. If you are consistent in your classes and if you're determined in your classes, your determination has to be there that I'm doing this for Allah and I have to find time for Allah. And I'm sure if you do this, you will find time for Allah. And so, but for this, let us just do the dua. Please make dua that Allah can help us, you and me. Allah help us to focus into our work and to do it with full motivation and inspiration. Rabbi yassir wala tuassir. That means, Ya Rab, Ya Allah, make it easy and not difficult. Wa tammim bil khair, and make the end of all our affairs, make it good. So this is the meaning of dua, and may Allah answer our dua. Now, remember one thing. When you are going through your whole course, remember this. If you just listen to the classes, I forget. You soon forget. You'll not remember. If I see, so now you're seeing the video or You're watching me, I remember. So when you see, you will remember. But when I practice, I give you the workbooks, I give you the Google quiz. So when you're practicing, you will learn. But when I teach, I master. Right now, I'm at the point of mastery. I'm teaching you and I'm going to master. So with you, even I'm learning. So these are the stages. I listen, I forget, I see, I remember, I practice, I learn, I teach, I master. So, okay, so practice. For your practice, I've provided you with all kinds of resources. They are there in the description box of your YouTube. You have a link to the Google quiz, where at the end of every lesson, you can just go into the Google quiz, log in, and there will be like 7 or 10 questions. Just answer them, and there and then you will see your mistakes. And that's for a self assessment. It's for you. Nobody is going to see that quiz. It's only for yourself. And then I will provide you textbooks for the grammar part and the Quran part. For both the parts, there will be textbooks, and each textbook will be followed by a workbook where you need to download those workbooks and print them, please. I really insist print it out because it will really help you. Print it, and with your pen, try to do all the answers. It will really help. And then after that, you have the answer keys, all the answers to it. After you've done the workbook, look at the answers and do your corrections. And I would suggest, like we used to have the teachers were correcting in the red, you correct yourself in red. Because whatever mistakes you make, it will be in red, correction will be done. And later on, as you go forward, you remember something and you'll go back to your workbook and you will see the correction and it will like fix into your brain. And of course, I will provide you with a vocabulary sheet which you can keep in your pocket all the time. And I will also give you 2 posters which you can just print and stick it somewhere, in a place where you visit, you move, you look more often. Now, we are going to see what are the objectives of course 2. All right. The first objective of course 2 is that we will study the first 5 pages of the Quran. In course 2, we will do 5 pages. We are going to do very slowly, but very steadily. We are going ahead, and as now we are going slowly and steadily ahead. But a time will come, you will be zipping through all these pages because we have already done the basics. So these are the 5 pages we will be doing in course 2. The approach is the same as course 1. What we used to do in course 1, there will be 2 parts, the Quran and the grammar. So in course 1, we did the Salah. And in course 2, we are going to begin with Surah Baqarah, inshallah. And we will be doing the first 5 pages. Now, the first 5 pages of the Quran, we will finish it in 20 lessons. And each page, we will do it in 4 parts. So page 1, there will be part A, B, C, D. Then page 2, page 3, page 4, like this. And connected to each class, there will be a grammar lesson. So page 1, grammar. If you're doing Quran, you're doing first 2 lines of the Quran, there will be a grammar connected to it, inshallah. The second objective of this course. The second objective is to learn 80% of the words of the Quran by studying only the first 5 pages. And of course, the grammar connected to it. So in the course 1, we finished 50%. In this course, you will learn 80% of the words of the Quran. So there's another miracle here. Why I'm jumping to 80%? You must be thinking, she finished the first course 50%, and now she's doing like 80%. How can we do that? Because Surah Al-Baqarah itself is a miracle that it doesn't have many new words. If you've done course 1, now if you do Surah Baqarah, you'll find so many words familiar, and it is so easy. This is Allah's miracle. So what's going to happen? You already now you know 50% words. That means 6 out of every 9 words in every line you already know right now. So after course 1, right now, you have completed course 1, and this is your situation. Look at this Quran. The shaded part is the one you don't know. And look at this, you know everything else. Ulaika, you know. Ala, you know. Min, you know. Rabbihim, you know. So only the ones which are shaded, if you have completed course 1, only the shaded ones you don't know, you already know this. That means there is literally like in the first line, 2 words, you don't know, second line, 2, third line, 3 words, 2 words, 2 words, 3, 3. So on an average, I can say that you only, like on an average, 3 words per line, you don't know. So if you're going to read Surah Baqarah, there are only 3 words on an average you don't know. Alhamdulillah. So this is how it's going to look. So when you will open your Surah Baqarah, the first 5 pages is going to look like this. So you see the white part is you already know. The blue shades you don't know. See, now we have to, but that's where like the grammar comes in. When we know the grammar, that means we know how to form the sentences and you know how to connect. So now, after you finish course 2, what's going to happen? That means when you come on the 6th page, when you finish the first 5 page, your Quran is going to be looking like this. There will be like just two words in the Quran. On every line, you will see, oh, I don't know the meaning. Only 2 words. So this is going to be our achievement at the end of course 2, inshallah. So those were the first 2 objectives. The third objective is we will learn pointers and phrases for easy learning of vocabulary. Now I'll explain to you what is a pointer and what is a phrase. So first of all, the 2 main challenges all of us, face in understanding the Quran is the vocabulary words. We don't know the meaning of words. And then even if we know the meaning of the words, we cannot connect them to understand the meaning of the whole sentence. See, when you read the Quran, you'll say, oh, I know this meaning. I know this meaning. But if I tell you what's the meaning of the whole sentence, you don't know. You just know some words here and there, but you don't know the meaning because you cannot connect them. And we, in our courses, what we are doing is we learn the vocabulary, that means the word and meaning. How are we going to learn the vocabulary? This is a new introduction to you. In this course, we are going to learn it by pointers and phrases. This is how we learn our vocabulary, by pointers and phrases, which I'm going to explain what is a pointer and what is a phrase. Grammar, you already know. We are familiar with this. In course 1, we did our TPI. TPI is the total physical interaction. You remember my hand movements? I used to do this, that. The whole course, for the whole course 1, I've been exercising with my hands. So yeah, so the total physical interaction. So it is an interactive course, and plus after each little topic, I used to do a little bit of spoken Arabic. So you're going to learn spoken Arabic plus the total physical interaction. So these are the 2 parts of learning Quran. And if you know these 2 well, it's a piece of cake for you to read Quran just like you read any language, just like you're reading English or any language which you love. So now let's see what's a pointer. We need to know what's a pointer and a phrase. Let's look at a pointer first. So Quran, as we all know, is divided into 30 juz. And each juz has 20 pages. I mean, in a commonly printed mushaf, you will see every juz consists of 20 pages. All right. This is how it looks. This is one juz. So this page 1 will have Surah Fatiha and Baqarah. Those little 2 parts, we have little bit of Surah Fatiha and little beginning of Surah Baqarah. So that is page 1, we'll regard. And this is how this is a whole juz with 20 pages. All right. Now, a juz is divided into rubu, quarters. It's divided into 4 quarters. Every juz has 4 quarters. You will see it is written at the side, when a quarter finishes. So it's going to be like this, page 1 to 5 is 1 quarter, 6 to 10 is another quarter, then third quarter and 4th quarter. And we are going to do the first quarter in course 2. This is what we are going to do in course 2. Page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pages. Okay, now let's do a little quick quiz. Each lesson in course 2 is divided into Give me the answer.
In Quran and grammar parts.
Yes, correct. Oh, that's wrong. You were right. This is wrong. You're right. No. You are
Okay.
right. Quran and grammar. This is wrong. This is the wrong answer. I think it was just some kind of a mistake. The correct answer is Quran and grammar part, not Quran and vocabulary part. It's Quran and grammar. You were correct. Main challenges for understanding the Quran are,
Vocabulary and grammar.
yes, that's our main challenge. These two things we need to learn. Alhamdulillah. Smiley face. So in this course, we will study the first 5 page or the first quarter. We will finish quarter of the first juz, inshallah. And this is how we are going to learn. This is how we are going to learn. You put your hands like this, and you will be representing the quarter, the first quarter of the first juz like this. And this is the pattern. You'll join these two fingers and join these two fingers like this. Now, how is this going to happen? So the first finger, this is going to be, Surah Fatiha and little bit of the Surah Baqarah. It's connected and made into one page. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 is together. Because when you open the Mus'haf, you will see 2 and 3. And then when you open the next page, you will see 4 and 5. And when you open the next page, you will see 6 and 7. So you see 2. So that's why 2 together. Now, this is how it is. Each page is divided into 4 parts. So this is the Surah Fatiha and the beginning of Surah Baqarah. So each page is divided into 4 parts. Pink, yellow, green, and blue. This is short for your convenience. And each one is represented by a pointer. A pointer, in every pointer, it may have more than one topic. Okay, so each part has got a pointer. It's going to be like this. These are the 4 pointers. So in this page of Surah Fatiha and Surah Baqarah, page 1, you have 4 pointers. The first pointer is praise for Allah. Second pointer in yellow is dua for guidance. Third pointer is guidance for muttaqeen. And the fourth pointer is attributes of muttaqeen. So these are the 4 pointers. Now, this is how it will go. So you will have, this is 1 means page 1. This number 1 means page 1. And A, B, C, D are the 4 pointers. These pointers. A, the pink is A, yellow is B, green is C, and blue is D. This is how the pointers will go for each page. So page 1, A, page 1, B, page 1, C, page 1, D. When we finish this, the first page is over. And each page will have a grammar with it. So 1A will have Quran. So here you have page 1, pointer A, that's the Quran. And then you will have another class of grammar for page 1, pointer A. So page 1, the pointer A will have 2 classes, one of Quran, one of grammar. Okay, and the same thing will continue. And this is how it's going to be. So 1A, Quran and grammar, 1B, Quran, grammar, 1C, Quran and grammar, 1D, Quran and grammar, and there we will finish first page. Then the same thing will continue, and inshallah we'll finish 20 classes of the Quran and 20 classes of grammar, and by that time you will know 80% of the words of the Quran, provided you're doing both parallel to each other, inshallah. So let me explain. This is how it's going to be. So when this is how you see it in the background, you have the Quran. On one side is Surah Fatiha, and the other side is Surah Baqarah. So this finger, the thumb has praise, dua, guidance, muttaqin. You see the lines on your thumb. So you may have like 3 lines. So put one on your palm. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and let one go on the palm. So you'll have praise, dua, guidance, muttaqin. So when we finish learning, you'll only have this in your mind. Praise, dua, guidance, muttaqin. And just by looking at this, just by remembering, looking at your thumb, you will know the whole meaning of that whole page. So this is the idea, to make Quran easy. So this is how at the end it's going to look. This is the TPI for pointers. Huh? This is the total physical interaction. For grammar, how we do our interaction with our hands. These are the fingers. So when you will finish page 1, the thumb, you will know it so well. When you will finish page 2, you will know kafirin, munafiqeen, corrupt, fools. Just these 4 words, if you see, you will know the whole page. The whole ayah. So this is how it goes. This is a brief description. And so this is what happens. So look at this praise. The first page is praise. But when you see praise and thanks. Then second was prayer for guidance. When you see prayer, you say, oh, prayer for guidance. Book of guidance. Attributes of muttaqin. You see this? It's going to look like this. So this is a TPI for pointers. The first page and it's for the whole of the quarter juz. So in one hand, you will know the whole of the quarter juz in this one hand. You will understand the meaning. Now, what are the benefits of these pointers? Why are we doing all this? Because the pointers, they give you context in which the new words are being used. See, they'll give you, when you see the pointers, you will immediately remember, oh, this refers to that topic. And this, knowing the context, to know the context is very important to understand and know the vocabulary. This will help you in your vocabulary. And these pointers, they work as like anchors. They work like anchors for you to memorize the meaning of the words and recall. Because, you're just rote memory, learning the meaning of vocabulary. No. If you do the pointers, it will be so easy for you to memorize the meaning. And they help you to visualize the subject. We will also learn the tafsir of the Quran. While we are doing this, we'll also see the tafsir. So when you're seeing the meaning of the Quran, you will start visualizing that what's happening, what's the story, what's the background, what's the theme of that part of the Quran. And also one more thing, if you do all this, imagine how easy it's going to be for you to memorize the Quran. So those of you, who are interested in or who plan to memorize the Quran, this is the best time to memorize, because we are going little by little. And now that you have learned, you have understood in depth the first 2 lines, say, for example, the first 2 lines, side by side, you can memorize it. So, and memorize will become so easy then, because everything is like literally like fixed into your brain. Now your tongue will be able to say it. Like, for example, if I ask you to memorize something in Japanese or Chinese or in some African language or or even in Arabic, if I tell you just to memorize a surah, you cannot. But if you know the meaning of the sentence, it's so easy for you to memorize. Correct? Inshallah. So now let's do a little quiz. Benefits of pointers are that they
give context, help in recalling topics, work as anchors.
And yes, correct. 3. Alhamdulillah. So now we have understood what is a pointer. Now let's understand what is a phrase. So phrase is like, for example, if I ask you that what's the meaning of in, I'm sure many of you will not know the meaning. You'll say, some of you will give me a reply and many of you will not know. But if I ask you, what's the meaning of inshallah? Straight away say, oh, if Allah wills. You'll know the answer. If Allah wills. Instantly you'll know. So it means that you know the answer, but in a phrase, not alone. If I asked you in, you did not know. As soon as I said inshallah, you connected. So you know the answer actually, but you cannot say it. It doesn't occur in your head. You don't get that spark in your head till you know it in a phrase. And that is the way to learn the vocabulary. This is how we are going to learn the vocabulary from now on, not learning one word at a time. And memorize the phrases. Always do not get into that thing of memorizing the words. Just memorize the phrases. The word will come to you automatically. So instead of memorizing in if, in, if, in, if, in, if. Sha, will, sha, will, sha. This way you will never memorize. But if you say, Insha'Allah, if Allah wills, Insha'Allah, if Allah wills, Insha'Allah, if Allah wills. Now it's easy. You've also understood a phrase and you have understood the whole meaning. Now, for example, the other example, Samad, self-sufficient. Samad, self-sufficient. But if you say Allah is Samad, Allah is self-sufficient, Allah is Samad, Allah is self-sufficient, in this way it's easier to memorize. Then another example, if I say Yuqimuna, they establish. Yuqimuna, they establish. Yuqimuna, they establish. Tomorrow if I ask you, you will forget it. But if I say yuqimuna salata, they establish the prayer. Yuqimuna salata, they establish the prayer. Yuqimuna salata, they establish the prayer. Now, yuqimuna is connected to salat, and now you have understood that yuqimuna salat, that means they are establishing a prayer. So you have learned it. This is a better way of learning and memorizing and understanding. Another one, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I say, Alameen. Alameen means worlds. Alameen, worlds. But if I say Rabbil Alameen, Lord of the world, Rabbil Alameen, Lord of the world, it's easy for you now to remember. So it's when you learn the vocabulary using a phrase, it's going to be easy for you to remember. Plus, if you plan to memorize the Quran, it's going to be easy for you to memorize too. So you have these two benefits. Now, phrases, they provide anchor for our brain to remember the meaning of new words. With the phrase, it's like an anchor in the brain, and the new words which will come, it will be easy for you to remember. And it will help you also to remember the message, because we don't want to learn only the words. See, we need to know what is the message in the Quran. The phrases will also help you to understand the message in the Quran, and it will make more sense than just words. If you're just learning words, it's not making sense. But if you're learning phrases, it's now making sense to you. So memorizing phrases and their meanings is much more effective, powerful, appealing, and useful than memorizing just words and the meanings. All right. And phrases, they provide an anchor to our brain to remember the meaning of the new words which will come. It will be easy for you to remember, and it will help you to remember the message as well. And it is good for your hifz too. And you will be familiar with the phrase in almost every line. In every line, when you come across, you'll be familiar. You'll start getting familiar with many phrases. And let's make an intention to memorize the Quran whenever possible. And here, I would like to stop and just tell you that if you make an intention to memorize the Quran, and if you start, everybody doesn't have the same sharp memory. Some of them, your memory is very sharp. Some of us, we take time to memorize. It's fine, as long as you have made an intention and you start memorizing. And subhanallah, that is a promise from Allah that in the course of time, while you are made an intention and you're memorizing, and maybe we die. If I die, we will be raised in front of Allah. We will be raised as Hafiz, and at that time we will know the whole Quran. So it's just kullu amal bin niyat. It's your intention. You make an intention, and Allah accepts it. So that's the mercy of Allah. All right, benefits of phrases are that what are the benefits?
They provide anchors to remember and make more sense than words.
And they are more appealing.
More appealing, yeah.
Yeah, good, alhamdulillah. Examples of phrases are
Inshallah and Allahu Samad.
yes, correct. Vocabulary can be easily learned through
Pointers and phrases.
yes, correct. Perfect. And the grammar?
TPI and Spoken Arabic.
Yeah, TPI and spoken Arabic. And spoken Arabic is included in this course for what?
Um, I think practicing different forms of verbs makes grammar lessons interesting, mm, helps in interaction, helps in learning.
Interaction
Yeah,
between
all of
teacher.
yeah,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
first
yeah.
three, yeah.
The first three, not the, yeah, good, alhamdulillah. Good, smiley face, alhamdulillah. So now, when you study any phrase, always use R5S10 loud. So what is R5S10 loud? R is relax. So when you start studying, always be relaxed. Have a smiley face, say, have your alhamdulillah smiley face and relax. Five is always use your five senses. Whenever you get any kind of, when you come across any verb, so try to imagine, how the action is. Use all your senses of hearing, seeing, smelling, touching, tasting. Use all the senses. Like for example, you say as-sama, so start using noun. It's a noun. So imagine think, what is as-sama? How does it look? Look at, oh, it's a sky. It is so big. It's so beautiful. It is blue and it's so soothing to the eyes. So, like this, try to use all your sentences when you come across any word in the Quran. And basically, they will be the verb and the noun. And the verb will tell you the action. So, you try to imagine what kind of an action is happening in that verb. Noun is any name of a person, place, or thing, or what, or an attribute. So, start imagining what it is. Now, 10 means 10 means spend at least 10 seconds looking at it. When the Quran, the sentence is there, don't just like say it in and look around. No, look with your eyes on the Quran, on the ayah. Look, read, give, focus for at least 10 seconds on it. And say it loud. Read it loudly. So all this will help you in study of your phrases. Alhamdulillah. So now, pointers and phrases will make it easy to learn new words. And so we have finished the first three objectives. To study 5 pages, number 1, know 80% of the words, number 2, and learn pointers and phrases, number 3. We know these three objectives. The first objective and the fourth objective is learn how to apply Al-Quran to our daily lives. This is the fourth objective. So this is how we learn how to apply. This is one example. In course 1, we did Surah Fatiha in a lot of detail. And in course 1, we have also seen that how Surah Fatiha, I think we had 12 lessons we learned out of Surah Fatiha. We had learned 12 lessons just in Surah Fatiha. Let's go through the first 6 lessons, how we apply to our daily lives. This is how we apply. First of all, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. تعوذ. When we learned the meaning of أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, the lesson we learned was safety first. أعوذ بالله, be away from shaitan, safety first. Then when we said Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, we learned that means in the name of Allah. So whenever you do any work, always say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim because you're beginning that work with in the name of Allah. The third lesson we learned was Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. That means Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. That means you're thanking Allah. So you say you're being positive about Allah. Be positive. That was the third one. The fourth one, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, we learned that be merciful and humble to others. Maliki Yawmiddin, we learned that keep the end in mind. Maliki Yawmiddin, remember the day of judgment. Keep the end in mind, and in that way you will always be on the right track. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, that means worship Allah, do dua, worship Allah. So these are the lessons we learned, the first 5 lines over here only in the Surah Fatiha. These were the lessons we learned. And how do we do it? We study and ponder the Quran. We try to visualize and feel it. And how can you achieve all this? You ask questions. You're asking. Try to evaluate what you're doing. Make a plan that yes, I have asked, I want to learn something, and this is how much I know, and this I need to know this much more. So what's my plan? What's my next step of action? And then the last, when you've done all this, how do you propagate it further? Alhamdulillah. The fifth objective is learn weak words that occur once in every line of the Quran. So there are some weak words. We will do it in this course, and in once in every line of the Quran you'll find that weak word. So we are going to learn that weak words in this course, inshallah. And the sixth one is learn 200 plus Quran-related spoken Arabic sentences for effective learning. So, you know, in every class, in the grammar class, as soon as I teach you a small topic of grammar, we do that spoken, the dialogue we have, spoken Arabic. So that will help you for effectively learn the language. Now, we have finished 6 objectives of our course 2. The first 4 objectives, which was study the first 5 pages, 80% of Quran, learn pointers and phrases, and the fourth one was to how to apply the Quran in our lives. These 4 topics, you will find it in the section of the Quran, the page 1a of the Quran, where we will learn the vocabulary, we will learn the meaning of those words, we will learn a little tafsir about that part of the Quran. We will learn the message, what message we are getting from that part. Okay, and the last 2 objectives are related to grammar. So in the formula R 5s 10 loud, the term R represents, what does it represent?
Relax. Relax.
Relax. Yes. First thing, we need to relax. If your mind is relaxed, you'll be able to perform better. But if you're nervous and you're anxious, you can't. So let us start with page 1 now. Let's see page 1. This is how the page 1 looks. I was telling you earlier that Surah Fatiha, generally you will see when you open the Quran, it looks like this. See? So this, you have Surah Fatiha on one side, and on the other side you have Surah Baqarah. Now when you, so what we are doing is only for the first page, this is what we are doing. We're putting the 2 together on one page and we're making it into one page. So this is how we have done. So we have got these 2 together. So this has become one page for us. And then we'll do page 4, 5, 6, page 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is page 1 for us now. And this page 1, in this page 1, we have 4 pointers. 2 pointers are for Surah Fatiha and 2 pointers are for Surah Baqarah. So look here. Got it? All right. And we did this now, that if you put your hand like this on the left side of your nose, you can just put like this on the left like this, and you look at it. This is what we are going to do. You're going to look at the first one. You are going to see your praise for Allah, dua for guidance, guidance for muttaqeen, attributes of the muttaqeen. So praise, dua, guidance, attributes. So when I finish teaching you, when we finish that first page, you will just look at this and you will know everything about this first page, inshallah. So let us take the pointer 1a, the first part, pointer 1a. We are looking at praise for Allah, pointer 1a. So pointer 1a, so we have ta'awuz and that first small part of it. So you have already studied these parts. We have already done in course 1. So I'm not going into details of Surah Fatiha. I will not go. So because you have already done, when we did Salah, you have already done the Surah Fatiha in the Salah section of course 1 in very, very great details we did. So, and we also talked about those 12 excellent habits which we need for the success in this world. We have done that. And word by word study. And the next class also we will be doing Surah Fatiha, but the Surah Baqarah word by word will start after 2 lessons. Okay. So now this lesson is just for an introduction for you to understand what's course 2 all about. So let's see the first one. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So for starting, general things, when we start, we always say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So why we say so that we get barakah from Allah and we have mercy for Allah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So before we start any kind of work, we always begin with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of Allah. So why we do that? So that we get barakah of Allah, and we are doing any kind of work using Allah's name, so it becomes easy for us. But when we start reciting the Quran, we don't start with Bismillahir Rahman. We always say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Why? Because Quran is full of barakah. We already know. And Shaitan will try his best to stop us from doing it, stop us from reading the Quran. Shaitan tries to stop us from understanding the Quran. So we need protection from the Shaitan, right? We need protection. We are under Allah's shield. We are asking Allah that I seek refuge in you, Allah, from this Shaitan, the outcast. So that's why we read A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. And we implement the zikr in our daily lives. Number one. Why? And that's the number one safety habit. We have learned 12 lessons in Surah Fatiha. So we should say this because this is the number one lesson we have learned, that safety first. And recite whenever shaitan whispers you, whenever you feel there's something like you are getting angry. Like for example, if you're getting very angry on your kids and you really want to throw, so you get at a point, especially the mothers, what should I do with them because they bother you so much? Say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, because that is shaitan telling you, getting angry to that limit with your own child. So A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. If you go outside, you see somebody doing bad, A'udhu billahi. So this is the shaitan is whispering in your ears to do something undesirable. So realize this, that we all, you and me, we are all in the continuous attack from shaitan. And we all need protection from the shaitan. So this is the best thing for us to do whenever you feel that I'm doing something really bad, which I should not do. And this is shaitan. You say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So recite ta'awuz before reciting the Quran so that shaitan does not whisper you during your tilawa, and he does not stop you from pondering over the verses, and he does not stop you from getting guidance from Allah, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Now you can develop this habit from ta'awuz. How? Give me the answer.
Seek protection.
Perfect. Now we have done this, so we will study the rest in the next lesson, inshallah. Now you have got a little bit of idea we got. Inshallah, in this next lesson, we will continue this. And of course, in the text box, in the description box, in the below your YouTube, you will find a link to the Google quiz, and that Google quiz is for your self-assessment. You will find a Quran textbook. Quran, like today's lesson is the Quran like textbook. So you find a textbook of Quran where everything I'm explaining is written there. So if you see that, you see everything what I've talked about is in that textbook. And then connecting to this textbook and this video, you will have, there is a workbook. So I insist that all of you download that workbook and print it. You need to print it because with you will use a pen and try to answer the workbook. And then after you finish answering, there is an answer book. Open the answer book and do your correction. Do your correction with a red pen so that later on, as you progress further, you can always go back for your reference. Then like this, in the same way, I will give you a grammar book, a grammar textbook. So whatever grammar I will teach you, it's all there in the textbook. So when you read it, you have it all, and you also have my videos to watch, the textbook. Then connecting to that grammar, you will have workbook where you have to take your pen, you have to download, print this workbook and do the exercises, write the answers. And of course, I also have an answer book, so you don't need to go to anyone to check your work. You just look at the answer book and do your self-correction. And of course, I will be giving you a vocabulary sheet where you can, whatever we learn step by step, always keep that one sheet with you. And you're walking here or there, just keep looking at it, just for it to be in your head. So Alhamdulillah, let's do dua. May Allah help us to recite our Quran correctly and make us understand the Quran, and so that we complete this course and get the 80% words of the Quran we understand, and make Allah make us so capable that we can ponder over the words of this Quran and do the tafsir and try to understand the deep meaning of what's the meaning behind the Quran. It's such a deep book, and it's a book of Allah. I mean, you cannot actually say that there's no comparison of the book with anybody, with any other book in the world. And may Allah make us from those that we can implement on the words of the Quran, and we can spread this Quran, we can share this knowledge with the others. And of course, it's very difficult, but we can make a dua that may Allah help us to memorize the Quran. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.